why not make it more pedestrian friendly?
Yeah, I think this is fantastic. I think it'd be great for Inchicore Village.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And how long have you had your shop here?
35 years.
35 years, so you know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, sometimes.
So Anne, what is your response to the
I can see
plan?
broadly having more room in that square. Now, I had my accident along there. I was coming down 5:10 in the evening to lodge a small amount of money to our daughter in the credit union. I think it was €25. Now, at the time it didn't really matter. It was just the very fact that I didn't get there.
So you were walking
Yeah,
from Woodfield?
Woodfield.
Yeah.
And I ended up, there were 3 cars racing for the lights.
Okay.
And one of them came fast and hit me. Now, by he hit me, it meant that I did a bit of a circus act. And I ended up outside the camera shop.
Oh my goodness.
Because, you know the way you're, if I was
You were
on a
thrown
rug-
up in the air, weren't you?
if I was on a rugby pitch, I'd be grand, you know.
But you were on the
I didn't
tarmac.
break my head. I didn't break my limbs. But I broke my hip because that was the repercussions of that accident.
And how old were you when you were hit by the car?
It's only 7 years
7 years ago.
since, but something like that happening to anybody, oh, it takes a lifetime to get better.
Yeah.
And you know, it's really the hurt. And you could say, well, you know, you should have gone to more physio, or you know, but it's gone now. They were all, you know, the way you do it in a movie.
Yeah.
Getting the space to get around the corner,
Okay.
get up the Nace Road or wherever they were going. And they just wanted their space. So,
Given your experience, you'd probably like to see more space given over to pedestrians and a calming effect on the traffic.
And also, if you realise, there should actually be a zebra crossing at that point, because it'd mean that don't cross there, because it's actually for pedestrians. And then if you cross over, and the likes of Ed next door, people like that, they don't want to lose their customers either way. And if, for instance, outside the Black Line, you have the accommodation, we'll say it's not always raining, but you could actually, if you had 3 feet or 3.5 feet, you could use that space for chatting or
Stop it and meeting the neighbours and
to be an accommodation. And that would be just something that I picked up from that. Which, you know, and other details you could think of that, you know, why not make it more pedestrian friendly?
I always see you out walking or taking the bus. Have you ever driven a car?
No,
No.
I never did.
And did Paddy ever drive?
Well, Paddy, he can, but he doesn't. And like, you know, we're not competing for space to actually drive. You know.
And would you say among the group of residents who've been here as long as you have, would most of them own cars, drive cars regularly, or would most of them walk to the shops?
Most of them would walk to the shop.
Would walk,
You know, walk to the shop.
So when I've talked about these kinds of ideas before with people about making our towns and villages more pedestrian friendly, they've often said, well, for older people who can't walk, they need to be driven or they need to drive. And now that isn't my experience of living here in Woodfield. I think the people who are out walking the most are the people who've been here since the 50s and 60s.
Well, like, I'll tell you, we'll say geographically, Paddy is the longest. He's here since 1957. Wow, that's a long time. And another neighbour of ours is a lady down in Woodfield Place. And she's about the same length of time living on our street. And then Nancy. But in Nancy's case, her daughter would give her some accommodation. But I can see that with Nancy might like to have a buggy. Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now, we'll say it's all to do with progression. But if it makes her comfortable, and if it's something that she's coming to terms with, Paddy doesn't like me to go out because of the virus now at the moment. But please God, in a week or two or whatever, it'll all be free.
Might be a bit longer than that, but you're doing great putting the mask on going out. So
yeah,
that's right.
You know, betwixt and between, and it's fine. You know that we're doing as good as we are, and I'm very proud of your 2 little tomatoes.
Thanks.